Yeah, thanks for staying with us on the SportsMax Zone. Last Thursday, Julien Alfred capped a stunning collegiate career by being crowned the female winner of the 2023 Bowerman Award, which since 2009 has been presented to the best male and female U.S. collegiate track and field athletes. The achievement was a first for her tiny island of Saint Lucia and made her the first Caribbean female to win the prestigious honor. Only two other Caribbean athletes have won the Bowerman, the late Trinidad and Tobago quarter-miler Dion Lendor in 2014 and Jaden Hibbert of Jamaica, who claimed the men's prize in Denver, Colorado last week. Today, the SportsMax stage belongs to Alfred. The 22-year-old won 4 of her 5 NCAA individual titles in 2023. The University of Texas Longhorn became the joint second fastest woman in the history of the 60 meters and second only behind Merle Nottie over 200 meters indoors. Outdoors, she set a national record 21.91 over 200 meters. After dominating the college scene and then signing a professional contract with Puma, she won the CAC Games 100-meter title, finished 5th at the World Championships in Budapest over the straight, and 4th over 200 meters. We could go on listing her achievements, but it's time to hear from the Saint Lucian sprint queen, Julien Alfred. Julien, it's an absolute pleasure to have you on the SportsMax Zone. First of all, good afternoon, and how are you doing today?
Good afternoon. Thank you for having me. I'm doing good. I'm a bit hoarse right now, so I apologize if you can't understand me clearly. But I feel good apart from that.
Yeah, we're hearing you clearly. That's wonderful. What have the last, 4 or 5 days been like since you were awarded the Bowerman, a significant achievement coming at the end of a tremendous collegiate career?
There were a lot of nerves leading up to the actual day because I didn't know who was gonna win. I know they both have very strong cases, both Jasmine and Britain. So I was very nervous leading up to that day.
Yeah. I noticed as well, and I couldn't help it, noticing just how emotional you were on the night. And your coach, Eldrick Florial, was also emotional. And it's as if as you got more emotional, he got more emotional. And you spoke about some difficult times. You spoke about the 17-year-old girl that went to Texas, now a 22-year-old and thriving. Can you give us an even more in-depth understanding of the last 5 years, the 17-year-old who left St. Catherine High School in Jamaica to Texas?
So I went at a pretty young age, and I really thought that being on my own, because I went to Jamaica at the age of 14, and I thought that being on my own at such a young age would prepare me for, college. And that wasn't the case. I went there so timid, so small. I wasn't talking at all. And Coach Flo recruited me. So I went there at 17, not talking, not just shy, just trying to get through the workouts. I didn't really know what I wanted at that young age. I just knew that I wanted to be with Coach Flo because I was following him prior to that with Sydney McLaughlin, Kenny Harrison, and Jasmine Camacho Quinn at the time, just following him. And over the past few years, I have had quite a few injuries. My first year, I made it to regionals. I fell during the warm-up, never got a chance to run at all. And my season was ended there. 2020, I came back trying to do good. I started doing good, and then COVID ended when we were at nationals, so never really got a chance to run at nationals, even that time. Then 2021 came. I don't think I was prepared mentally, if I'm being honest, because after being stuck in the US in 2020, I think that I was going through such a hard time, and thankfully I had Coach Flo and the athletic staff really in my corner during that time, trying to keep my spirits up during that, whilst being in isolation. And all I wanted was just to go home with my family, seeing everybody home. Was really hard watching, so I was there for a few months and got a chance to go home on my birthday because they were flights taking people from the US to Saint Lucia, so there were a few flights, and I got a chance to go home on my birthday. But it still didn't. I still didn't recover from it. Then 2021 came. It was just so rough. I went home in December and I got COVID, and I was stuck in quarantine for 2 to 3 weeks. Couldn't go out, couldn't train or do anything. And then when I got out of quarantine, I had to go back to the US right away. So didn't get a chance to see or spend time with my family. And I went back to Texas, struggling to get back in shape. I I think I attended like 2 or 3 meets until my my hamstring cramped up in the 4x4. And no matter what I did, no matter what my coach did, the athletic staff tried, I just couldn't get back. No matter how many PRPs I did, nothing could have prepared me to come back to run for Texas. And my coach decided to end my season because I was best. No matter what we tried, it just wasn't recovering at all. Then 2022 came around. I got I started getting back in shape. Um, Finally doing good indoor. Um, didn't win nationals that time, but I went on the order to win the 100. And 2023, I was so much better mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Um, yeah, and then on a good note, the start wasn't the best, but the ending was what you know I was praying for.
Yeah, it is such an amazing story you have, Julian, because you spoke about those early years. If I remember correctly, I remember that you got injured. I think it was hamstring early in the season, the first couple of seasons. You spoke about the 2022 campaign when you dominated indoors up to the final and you didn't win it. You finished down the field, and that must have been difficult. And then you went outdoors and you won the 100 title. Just mentally, how have you been able to bounce back time after time throughout your collegiate career?
Thankfully, I have Coach Flo. He has taught me so much in life. I think I came into Texas with so many negative beliefs about myself, and I used to just think that I wasn't allowing myself to enjoy, the good times. And I would just, whenever I would feel so happy about something good happening, I just felt like there was something bad coming after it. And I think allowing myself to, take time, and I think a bad thing happening to me is not the end of my life. That's something that I've had to learn, over the years, because once one bad thing happened, I just felt like, my life is over, my career is over. And that really wasn't the case. Everybody goes through struggles, everybody has their own journey. And whether they may not speak about it, on social media or like out loud, there is somebody else struggling. And I feel like just embracing that and trying to just not beat myself up during that time. I've learned that over the years.
Yeah, well, Julian, you've just outlined a lot of spiritual growth. And I want to make the point that given your growth in the past 5 years and the hardships that you have been able to overcome to get where you are now, I would suggest that that is a good sign. The fact that you haven't really had things on a platter, so you've had to work hard to get where you are. And
Yeah.
it suggests to me that when the global assignments now face you, that you can tackle them with energy and confidence because you know that you've gone through a lot.
Right. And that's something I'm still learning even now. I think after that warning at Worlds, it kind of threw me off a little bit. So I think that Coach Flo and our part of our goals is just to not let things get to me, because I'm still trying to figure out how to just not let things affect me as much, because sometimes I feel like it's the end of the world for me and it's just so heavy on my heart. So just trying to not let things, affect me as much moving forward. I'm still learning, still growing in that aspect, and I'm just hoping that I can just be better at it.
Yeah, and it's interesting you spoke about the false start warning at the World Championships this year, Julian. Of course, many would remember that you were disqualified for a false start in Eugene, Oregon at Worlds in 2022. You bounced back from that brilliantly and then won a silver medal at the Commonwealth Games in Birmingham. And then you turn up at the World Championships this year. You are in the semi-final. I can tell you, when I saw it immediately, I said, oh my God, not again. And then there was a reprieve. Take me through your own emotions in that moment in Budapest when you might have thought that you were going to be disqualified again.
That was scary. That was so scary. And I felt like, well, right after they shot the second gun, I knew it was me simply because I had the exact same experience at Worlds the year prior. The semifinals, I'm always so much like reactive as compared to the first round, and I always feel like I'm ready to go to the second round. And I have a very quick reaction, a very quick start, and whenever second round comes around, I just knew it was me. Oh my goodness, I can just think about the feeling that I had during that time, and my heart just sunk, and I was just trying to hope that they would just allow me to come back in again. Even after that, even after I knew the race ran and everything, I was still so scared because I was just, all I could think about is, I hope that doesn't happen in the final. And as you realize in the final, I just wasn't, the quickest out the blocks. Even the semifinals, when they allowed me to go back in, and I was just scared for my life. I was just like, not again. I don't want it to happen to me again. And thankfully, they allowed me to go in. I just couldn't let it go, at the moment, which is something that I'm working on now, trying to let things go and move on.
Yeah. Now that you are in the professional ranks, I suspect that school is completely done. No more classes, am I correct?
No more classes, I'm done. I'm done with school.
Congratulations. How is life now different from when you had to do all those classes and turn up to training and do all the assignments?
It's so much different. I think that coming from a place where you had like a routine, okay, this time I have to go to weights, this time I have to go to class, and then I have practice, or whether I have class after. Now it's just like, I'm just wasting around for practice. So it's like there's nothing to really occupy my time with yet, which I'm trying to look into what I would want to do. I really want to volunteer. During my free time, I'm still trying to figure out where. But it's just so much different having a routine. Like at this time, you have to be somewhere. And now it's just like, I'm just waiting around for practice and looking around, don't really know what to do. Sometimes I try to just get ready early so I can kill some time and just feel like, I'm getting ready for practice.
Yeah, quickly, does it feel more difficult now that you have all this free time on your hands?
To me, yes. I love that I have no school, no finals or anything to worry about, as compared to, my teammates that come to practice and talk about, oh, I have finals today. But it feels good to not have to worry about school or anything. But to me, it's just that not having like a set routine is so much harder because I've been used to that for the last 5 years. So just not having it now, I have to like adjust to just practice.
All right, we're speaking with Julien Alfred, the CAC Games 100-meter champion from 2023, the Bowerman Award winner, Commonwealth Games silver medalist, and the list goes on. And we expect it to grow in 2024 as well. We'll continue the discussion right after this break.
Yeah, this is the SportsMax Zone on a Monday, and we're talking with Julien Alfred, who has become the first ever non-American to win the Bowerman Award on the women's side, which is a prestigious award given to outstanding performances in U.S. collegiate track and field. She's live with us on the show today. Julien, I want to ask you this because during your teenage years when you were improving, were there any global stars that inspired you? Because I'm thinking that there may be a couple of them who you now end up running against.
There are quite a few. I would say Shelley Fraser-Price, Shericka Jackson, who I look up to tremendously. Also Talu. I really look up to these people.
Yeah. 1081, 2191, 100 and 200, your personal best times. You are by far the fastest Saint Lucian ever, and
Right.
from the Eastern Caribbean as well. How much do you feel as if you're carrying the flag for the Eastern Caribbean on the global stage?
I never looked at it that way at all. I didn't know that, actually. I didn't look at it that way at all. But I feel like I always feel proud whenever I get a chance to, represent my country, represent the Caribbean as well. It's always a pleasure.
I want to ask you as well, because a couple of years ago, there were some rumors that you were being courted by the USA to switch allegiance to run for them. And there was a pretty sharp response from the government of St. Lucia taking that narrative down. Is there anything you can say on that as to whether there was any move at all to sway you to wear U.S. colors?
No, there wasn't, not that I know of at all. I know that earlier on this year, somebody made an April Fool's joke about me switching allegiance, but that is not true. That is not true at all. I would never. I love my country, my little island.
Yeah. And how satisfied are you with the honors and accolades that have been given to you by your country in the past couple of years?
I'm very satisfied. I love that, take time to show the athletes love and appreciation. And yeah, it's all love. I really appreciate it, to be honest.
You spoke earlier on about your setbacks and things affecting you mentally and feeling as if, spiritually you have so many challenges that sometimes it's a hurdle to get over them. Can you talk to us about, having been through that, currently what do you consider to be your strengths and the best tools that you have to take on the world? Because given your improvement and your current quality, you are now at a world level and can challenge for medals.
Right. My biggest thing is therapy. I do see a therapist as much as possible. Even at Worlds, I saw a therapist, especially after the 100-meter finals. I was a bit down, and he really came through for me, helped me get through the rounds of the 200 as well. So therapy is a big thing for me. I still have challenges, especially in terms of, confidence sometimes, just being so hard on myself and trying to just, like I said to my coach, I just want to do good. I just want to be able to be successful, knowing how hard I work and knowing the sacrifices that I've made, to get to this point. I just want to continue to just work hard. But I think that had I had no therapy, I know I spoke about confidence, but trying to remind myself of how far I've come and trusting in God, that has been the biggest thing for me. Trying to grow my faith every day and lean on His word and trusting in His plans for me. That has really helped me so far. I'm hoping that it can help me in the future as well.
Yeah, I want to get an understanding, Julien, of how you see yourself in the global sprint space for women at both 100 and 200 meters. I think many individuals see Julien Alfred as a 22-year-old who can one day become Olympic and world champion, who is rising and rising fast. but that's what other people see. What do you see?
I see myself being there as well. I think that even now it's so much hard to believe that I'm at the point now, because I think that praying for it for so long and it's finally here, I am grateful, but it's also hard to believe that I'm actually living in answered prayers. But I do see myself, amongst the greats and being, the best one day, as long as, I continue to do what I'm supposed to, continue to trust my coach, continue to work hard. I can see myself there. And I think that I have a lot of work to do, definitely. But I do see myself, being, one of the best or amongst the best, definitely.
Yeah, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here. I mean, you came to Jamaica when you were, 14 years old, from Leon Hess Comprehensive to St. Catherine High School in Jamaica, and you had a pretty successful time at it as well, and you left pretty early as well. We've seen so many athletes from the rest of the Caribbean come here to Jamaica to compete at champs, to get a feel of what the high school system is like. If you had individuals, and you probably do, coming up to you and say, Julien, I want to go to Jamaica, would you advise me to do it? What advice would you give to them?
Well, that's a tough one. I think I would tell them to go for it, because the experience and the culture is like no other. Especially, I feel like if I stayed in Saint Lucia, I wouldn't have had the experience that I had in Jamaica. Moving forward, especially in the track world, I wouldn't have experienced, the crowds that you guys have, and I don't think it would have prepared me for, going to further meets, such as Worlds. What if I didn't go to Jamaica and I am at Worlds and I'm nervous because there's such a large group? But I would definitely tell them to go for it. I don't think I would tell them to go on their own. I would definitely advise the parents to go with them, because it's a challenge being on your own and you feel like you have to grow up so quickly. But I would tell them to go for it, because it's a great experience.
Yeah. Is there any part of your time in Jamaica that you say you would regret or you would do a different way?
The age I went at, I felt like I was rushed into growing up, and I felt like, even though I was so happy, because it's Jamaica, you hear about Usain Bolt, you hear about Sheldon Fraser Price, you're excited as a young child to just go over there and just see what it's about and try to have the same experience, and you yourself, you want to be just like them. I wouldn't advise them to go at a young age, because you're forced to grow up early. And not being in family is so hard, because I didn't get a chance to go home until I had to go to Carifta, and that was probably like for a few days. I never got a chance to go home in December to spend time with my family, which was hard. At that young age, all you knew was, just friends and having fun, and I felt like I was alone, and I needed family at the time. So the only thing I don't think I liked about my experience was just going at such an early age. It was too early, and I just feel like I was rushed into growing up, but it worked out, so I'm happy about that.
Yeah, that's very understandable. Before you go, Julien, I want to ask you this, because 2024 is a big year for all of you world-class athletes. Now, I want to find out from you what your 24 season will be like, because you won't be compelled to do an indoor season next year, and because the Olympics are way in the summer, do you see yourself running indoors in January, and how much will your preparation for Paris change from what it has been over the past couple of seasons when you have big summer meets?
Yeah, I'll be running indoors for sure. I'm not sure when I'll be opening up, but especially, whenever my coach feels like I'm ready, it's up to my coach. But I think with indoors, I'm not sure it's going to, I don't think I won't run as many meets as I ran when I was in college, but I think that whatever it takes, however my coach feels like, what I need to get ready for Paris. I trust him. I trust his judgment. So I can't.
And is the World Indoor Championships March 1 to 3 on the agenda?
It is, definitely. I didn't get a chance to go the last time, but I'm looking forward to going out there representing my country.
All right, it's going to be in Glasgow, and we look forward to seeing you, Julien Alfred. It's been a pleasure speaking with you today. Congratulations on a wonderful college career. Congratulations on winning the Bowerman. Congratulations on your multiple records this year. Congratulations on your CAC title. It's been that type of 2023. Congratulations. Good time to say Merry Christmas when it comes, and a Happy New Year.
Oh, thank you, and same to you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, Julien Alfred, what a stunner. And Lance, I'm so happy that she mentioned about how early she came to Jamaica and how difficult that was for her. And I hope that there are parents from right across the Caribbean seeing this interview and seeing what she went through and taking a closer look at how young you send your child or children, because it is a difficult environment, and yes, there is a lot to learn, there is a lot to grow. There is a lot of growth to be had. Yeah. But in my opinion, I believe that the perfect age for them to actually come and experience the Jamaican high school system is when they get to sixth form, which is somewhere around 15, 16, 17 years old.
But she said it.
Yeah.
She said it. If she had to change anything, she would have come later, because 14 was pretty young.
Yeah, and that is what I would advise as well. But yeah, that's that. Julien Alfred, wonderful young lady. Great interview. We'll take a break. We'll be back with more on the SportsMax Zone.